I let a mother with 3 kids live in my empty apartment for free. The kids were barefoot on the sidewalk, with bags of clothes on the ground. She had just been evicted. My entire family said I was going to regret it. 6 months later, I went to inspect the place before selling it. What I found on the living room wall left me completely speechless. I gave up almost $8,000 a month in rent to help a stranger. Everyone called me a fool. My own father said I was throwing money away, but by the end of this story, I was the one who couldn't find the words. I need to tell it from the beginning, so you can understand. It all started on a Tuesday around 7 p.m. I was driving home from work and took a different route because of traffic. That's when I saw the scene. A woman sitting on the curb with 3 children. The oldest looked about 8 years old. The youngest was in her arms, maybe 2. The kids were barefoot, and bags of clothes were scattered across the sidewalk. The woman had that empty stare, you know when someone has already cried every tear they had left? I parked the car and walked over. I asked if she needed help. She looked up at me and said, her voice barely there, "Sir, we were evicted today. I don't have anyone. I don't have anywhere to go." I looked at the kids. The oldest boy was holding his little sister's hand with such a serious, grown-up expression that it made my throat tighten. I had a 2-bedroom apartment sitting empty for 3 months. I'd been trying to rent it and couldn't. In that moment, without thinking too much, I said, "I have an empty apartment nearby. You can stay there. You don't have to pay anything." She looked at me like I was speaking another language. She stayed silent for about 10 seconds. Then she started crying. But it wasn't a cry of sadness. It was relief. That same night, I took her and the kids to the apartment. I stopped at the grocery store and bought the basics: rice, beans, milk, bread, fruit. When I opened the door, the oldest boy ran inside and shouted, "Mom, it has a real floor!" That broke something inside me. The little girl went straight to the bathroom and just stood there staring at the shower like it was the most incredible thing in the world. I handed her the key, wished them good night, and left. In my car, I cried, angry at the inequality, but grateful that I could do something. The next day, I told my family. That's when the problem started. My mom said, "Are you crazy? You don't even know this woman. She's going to destroy your apartment." My dad said, "When she takes over and refuses to leave, don't come crying to me." My brother sent a message in the family group chat saying I was being manipulated. No one supported me. I started doubting myself, but I decided to keep my word. The first month passed. I didn't go there. I didn't call. I didn't charge anything. In the second month, she texted me, "Mr. João, I got a job at a bakery. The kids are already in school. Thank you so much." That message was worth more than any rent payment. I replied, wishing her strength, and told her she could stay as long as she needed. My family kept criticizing me. My brother even stopped talking to me, but deep down, I felt like I was doing the right thing. Then, in the 4th month, a neighbor from the building called me. What he said made my stomach drop. "João, that woman is doing some strange things in your apartment," he said. "I hear noises at night, things being dragged around. It sounds like they're messing with the walls. And she barely leaves on weekends. She stays locked in there all day." I hung up with my hand shaking. Was my family right? Was she destroying everything? I texted her asking if everything was okay. She replied, "Everything's great, Mr. João," but I wasn't calm anymore. My brother found out about the neighbor's call and didn't hold back. "I warned you." My mom cried on the phone saying I was going to lose the apartment. The pressure became unbearable. And deep down, I was afraid to go there and confirm the worst. If the apartment was destroyed, I wouldn't be able to sell it, and I needed that money. In the 5th month, I made a decision. I told her I was going to sell the property and needed to do an inspection. She replied calmly, "You can come whenever you'd like, Mr. João." We scheduled it for Saturday. I barely slept that entire week. Every night I imagined the worst. Broken walls, ruined floors. My dad said, "Take someone with you to witness the condition of the place." Saturday, 9 a.m. I parked in front of the building, my heart racing. I walked upstairs slowly and rang the doorbell. She opened the door with a smile. The kids were neatly dressed. The boy ran up and hugged me. I stepped inside and looked around. I literally stopped in the middle of the living room. The apartment wasn't destroyed. It was spotless, better than when I had handed it over to her. The floors were shining. The kitchen was more organized than I had ever seen it. New curtains, a flower vase on the window, the bathroom sparkling. I walked through room by room and couldn't find a single flaw. I was in shock, embarrassed for having doubted her, my eyes filled with tears. Then she gently grabbed my arm and said, "Mr. João, come here. Before you sell it, I need to show you something." She led me to the living room wall, that big wall facing the door. When I looked at that wall, I lost my voice. I tried to speak, but no sound came out. I just stood there, my jaw trembling. The kids stood beside me, waiting for my reaction. In my entire life, nothing had prepared me for what I saw on that wall. But what was on that wall? If you want to know what I found there, what left me speechless, and what happened to that mother and her 3 children, follow and comment Part 2, and I'll tell you everything.